Hello friends, welcome to this video as a part of the ongoing Surya Namaskar Sadhana series. So today I will briefly introduce chakras and I will explain which chakras you need to focus on in the last 3 rounds of the Surya Namaskar Sadhana. So just to briefly mention, nadis are energy channels in the body and chakras are energy centers in the body along the spine. So let me show you a picture. Okay, so you can see below the base of the spine, Mooladhar chakra, that is the location. For Swadhisthana chakra, you see a point. So this is about the tailbone, and then you see a corresponding point in the front. So the part which is in front, the point which is in front is called chakra kshetram or trigger point. So sometimes it is easier to become aware of the trigger point or chakra kshetram. So if you go a bit up, so around the belly button, so belly button area is the Manipur chakra kshetram or trigger point, and right behind it in the spine is the Manipur chakra. A little up, so around the middle of the chest bone is Anahat Chakra, trigger point. Right behind it is the heart, and right behind the heart is the point in the spine, which is Anahat Chakra. And then behind the throat pit in the spine is Vishuddhi Chakra, and the throat pit itself is the trigger point, the Kshetram. And then the middle of the head is the seat of Agya Chakra, and the eyebrow center, that is the Kshetram. So Sahasrar Chakra is at the top. So Sahasrar Chakra doesn't have a Kshetram, and Mooladhar Chakra also doesn't have a Kshetram. So now, if you want to know more about it, in the description I have posted the theory about it. Let's proceed to the chakras we will use in Surya Namaskar Sadhana. So the first chakra we are going to use is Swadhisthana Chakra. So we will become aware of the tailbone. So it's easier to become aware of the tailbone than become aware of the Kshetram for this particular chakra. And the mantra we are going to use is VAM. The next chakra. So here we are not going to become aware of the chakra itself, but we are going to be aware of the chakra kshetram. The parts which are at the front of the body, they are easier to become aware of, and Surya Namaskar Sadhana is a dynamic practice. So we will become aware here of all the points which you can easily focus on. So the belly button is the seat, the kshetram, the trigger point for Manipur chakra, and the mantra is Ram. So not Ram, Ram. The next one is again the trigger point for Anahat chakra. Middle of chest bone is the trigger point, the chakra kshetram for Anahat chakra. So while doing Surya Namaskar, it may be difficult to become aware of the Anahat chakra in the spine, but we are all familiar with the chest bone, the front parts of the body. So you have to become aware of middle of chest bone when I name Anahat chakra, and the mantra is Yam. So not Yam, it's Yam. The next one, you have to become aware of your throat pit, which is again familiar to us. So this is the Vishuddhi Chakra Kshetram, or the trigger point for Vishuddhi Chakra. And the mantra is hum. Okay, so not ham, hum. And the next one is Agya Chakra, the last one for our Surya Namaskar Sadhana series, eyebrow center. This is again the trigger point for Agya Chakra or Agya Chakra Kshetram. So while doing a dynamic practice, it may be extremely difficult to become aware of the middle of the head, the actual Agya Chakra. Okay, and the mantra is Om. So these are the chakras we are going to use in Surya Namaskar Sadhana. First is Swadhisthana, the tailbone. Okay. The next is belly button, Manipur. The third is middle of chest bone, Anahat. Fourth is throat pit, Vishuddhi. And the fifth is Agya, the eyebrow center. Once again, I will just show briefly so that from the profile you can understand. Okay, so if you want to read more about the chakras and their locations and why it is important for the chakras, and maybe you saw the pictures, you want to know more about them, how many petals and all. So I've given brief description, so you can check it out. If you want to know more, then definitely you can read books about that. You can watch other videos or you can search in Google if this topic interests you. But for our purpose, I have introduced to you the 5 points on which you will need to focus. You have to speak the names during Surya Namaskar, the last 3 rounds, and you have to chant the mantra also. Okay. So see you in my next video. The next video will be a very short video about Shambhavi Mudra. So till then, how you can practice is with closed eyes, you can just become aware of these points for a few breaths and you will master them. So if you see, these points are very familiar to you. So this is eyebrow center, this is throat pit, this is chest bone, so middle of chest bone. So these points are familiar, so it's easier to incorporate them in Surya Namaskar Sadhana. So, Hari Om.